Got it. All right, bro. It's on you.
Got it. Islam. I'm Brother Hasan Bey. Happy Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali Day. This is number 12, AstroCivics Sunday. We're going to be getting into Taj Tarik Bey's jump drive again, but of course, I'm with my magnificent bros, and he is.
I am, first of all, hey, Diesel Measle. Namaste. Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco at northwest of Mexico. How are you? And on the phone here, guys, just as very briefly before we go into our invocation in, if you can see, I've got the iPhone projected behind me. We have a special mother with us today. Special guest. You wanna give your Islams and peaceful greetings, mother, before I and Brother Ara go into the invocation in and 2 letters to be read in every meeting?
Islam, my sons, I am sister, mother. Hey, mother, sister. Sister Dara, that's L. That L is the governor. No, wait a minute. It gets wrong. Yes, it gets wrong. Yes. But I am Delilah Pascal, and I've been around for really a food. I just went around the sun. I went around the food. Time. I think I got a little bit. So at this point, I give. So let's get on this prayer. Let's get this prayer on. Yes.
All righty. Indeed, beloved mother. We appreciate you guys heard. That is Mother Delilah Pascal joining us for our Holy Day celebration pertaining to Prophet Noble Drew Ali's solar return. So what I'm doing here, watch out, Diesel, watch out, baby. Go sit over here. Sit right there, baby. All right, let me do the screen share here. All righty, give me 2 moments and we're sharing the screen. All righty, boom. And start the broadcast. Brother Ara is going to lead us with the invocation, and I'm going to do the first letter to be read in every meeting, and Brother Ara is going to do the second letter to be read in every meeting. And we're here in the administrative functions, all righty. Pages 48 and 49 is the ones that you see here within the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Administrative Functions. You can receive this book from rvbaypublications.com, guys. That's where I got it from, just to be completely honest, where I got it from, all right? And I am going to extend 5 appendages, all 5 from on my left hand and just the index in the middle on the right. We're going to face east, which is indicative of going within, metaphysically speaking, because east is within. And we're going to stand handsomely, like Prophet Noble Drew Ali is standing there, putting our feet on the 45, and repeat after Brother Hasan Bey. And I yield, Brother Islam.
Islam, repeat after me.
Islam.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth. Peace. Freedom. And justice. Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide. And my salvation. By night and by day. Through his holy prophet. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Amen.
Amen. All righty, you all. Amen. Let me get around the puppy. He's just laying in. Come here. You can sit right here, puppy. Go ahead. Sit. Lay down. You all right? You good? Oh, geez. All right. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to slide on over to the first letter to be read in every meeting, guys. This is on pages 84 and 85 in the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Administrative Functions. As you guys see on page 84, the following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali. On the 18th day pertaining to January 1928 Anno Domini, he commanded that it be read before every meeting. Administrative Functions, Moorish Science Temple of America, right? Home office, 3603 Indiana Avenue, Noble Drew Ali, founder. Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929. To be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear brother, Islam, I am glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There's a host of jealousy, quote unquote, about me and the movement. Now, by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens, they are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the mothers, right? Because nation starts with mothers, right? Facing a nation, Islam. It all comes through jealousy because of my, quote, fame and nobility, end quote, period. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration for Lewis Lincoln Emerson to represent the Moorish Divine and National Movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Noble Drew Alim. Islam. Here's the second letter to be read in every meeting. This one is from the Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper, right? That you see on page 12, Prophet Noble Drew Ali handsomely standing due guard in his Moorish Sharif fez. And on page 13, divine warning by the prophet. Another letter to be read in every meeting. And I yield the floor to Brother Hasan Bey, Islam.
Islam, divine warning by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew Ali, and if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways by order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Islam. So guys, Islam, mother. So we're here now. This is AstroCivics Sunday 12. All right. So this is the 12th, right? AstroCivics Sunday, which is Brother Hasan Bey's presentation, because Monday is Brother Sean's presentation. Wednesday is Brother Terrell, and Brother Corey originally, right? And with Brother Sean substituting in at times because Brother Corey is just doing excellent with One Heart supplements. So he has to actually, put a lot of his energy into being the astro health coach that he is to the planet, right? Then you have Fridays is impromptu improv with I and Brother R and anyone else that goes to show. However, Sunday, AstroCivics Sunday is particularly Brother Hasan Bey's presentation, all right? So without further ado, let me actually come here and stop the screen share. And the reason why we have Mother Delilah with us and on the phone, I just asked her to take a few moments out of her day today, because out of her party, actually, because Moorish Americans should be like, out of any day of the year, January 8th is when you should be turning up. You know what I'm saying? All right. Brother Terrell just came in too, right? With the sauce, right?
Hello, mates.
Islam, bro. So we got of course, because this is about to be one of those days, guys, where we just really go in and you know, what we're gonna do is, since this is number 4, this is AstroCivics Sunday 12, but this is Brother Taj Tarik Bey's Jump Drive presentation number 4. And Mother Delilah Pasayel, she's going to tell you better than I can, because she, if I'm correct, and she'll correct me if I'm wrong, mainly authored the 108 questions pertaining to the Moorish consular restoration, alrighty, which was only for concept correctional purposes. It wasn't intended to, you know, people to start, you know, what they think is a Moorish American consulate and another group or anything like that. This was just for concept correction purposes. So I'll make sure I have my phone very close, even though I have it on speaker. And as I do this, I'm going to share screen from the other computer here. But Mother Delilah, you have the floor. Islam?
Islam. All right. So how it came about, the 108, Brother Taj and I, well, primarily started with me having gone into those venues constantly after I got removed from my domicile. You know, well, I mean, the point of the matter is, I devised everything that had in front of me. All right. So anyway, I was going to those sessions, and I got a law degree. I really think it's a law degree by going to those sessions and understanding. And as I went to each session, I was able to devise a question: why this happened this way, why that happened that way, and if they had any real jurisdiction, why was I allowing this to happen? Why did I get involved in that? So I interstice the questions with the Moorish holy divine Quran. I interstice this so that there was an understanding as to why the situation was what it was, what I was going through. And I said, I wrote all these questions down, but they were simplified. And Brother Todd has experience of many more years than I did at that point to put it in a concise and a very concise but yet expanded version of what he had understood what was going on. So he prefaced it so that we could understand why I came with the questions that I came up with. So like I said, it's all an experience. It's just like getting in the ring and not knowing that I had to do a jab or a left hook or a jab or a straight punch. And having gone through all those, then I started learning the methodology of what was going on in those videos. And so I said, all right, I know that there is some protection. The protection is the treaty. And let me just ask these questions among us so that we can get a better understanding of what it is that we're being confronted with. I wanted to share this. So I asked, what is a writ? What is the affidavit? The distinction between the affidavit and the writ. Can you, but it was always an open book test. It was nothing that, you had to return to it, although a lot of people did return questions, but it perfected me by going over their answers that were sent to me. About 15 or 20 people turned the test to me. And it's sort of like the idea to perfect, and it sort of perfected me in my understanding of what it was that I had gone through and what it is that I need to continue to understand how to exercise those unalienable rights, those inalienable rights. I have the right to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, and I also have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of property. So when I understood that there's some contracts going on, and I'm not understanding completely what a contract is, but let me delve into it, get to a better understanding of what a contract is. First thing must be an offer. So they're offering something, but I didn't know how to respond to it. Then there's the consideration. So I didn't know what the consideration was. But see, like understanding and going through what they put on and what Taj has demonstrated, that what it entails in a contract, the offer, consideration, and the acceptance. So the consideration was they're offering you this, but there's something wrong with this offer. It's not totally being real as to what the offer is. And so at that point, understanding that I can, since fraud, definition of fraud is criminal deceit, and that I can contest it at the middle, at the end, that I can do these things. I have the power within me to exercise this ability to claim and proclaim my unalienable rights, like the pursuit of happiness, like the property. So that's the basis of what I shared with Brother Taj, and he cleaned it up. He cleaned it up because I was just, still in preliminary stages of development in regard to having fought in that battle, going in that ring. But hey, I did prevail. I was able to prevail, even though sometimes it wasn't clear to me. I still prevailed. And then what it was that helped me prevail was the Holy Quran, because it is a book of laws, it is a book of principles, it is a book of axioms, and it is a book of instructions. So I began to go more and more in depth of what that book was. And then in conjunction, he gave me 101s or 102s, because he said, I've given you enough to save the nation. Now take it and go save yourself. The two pamphlets held up were the 101s and the Holy Quran for Science of America. So those things I started utilizing, and that's why I interspersed those questions with what was coming from the prophet. It's not just a questionnaire about the mundane, but how is it applicable to the spirit, the esoteric metaphysics of it all. So at this point, I'm going to yield.
Islam, well, and that's, I think some key things is that, you had said, this came about because property that's still technically yours. I know we've had this conversation. I'm like, Mother Delilah, we can still get that house back. You know what I mean? Especially when I was telling you about Mother Malika and the jurisprudence gem at lawful living. And I'm like, oh yeah, we definitely could do this, because all we need to really pay attention to is mainly, first and foremost, does it qualify to have to go through adjudication the way it did? And really, that's us doing a spiritual probate, because probate means to prove. And so they would have to actually prove that that location would have to be what it is, that you were someone that's participating in the state, pertaining to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, but we know, speaking de jure, it would be Pennsylvania Commonwealth. However, the beauty in this is that I remember there was 3 meetings, right, pertaining to consular restoration that I actually attended, but I think it was 4 total, because the first one I missed because I thought it was a joke, because it came from a brother who had Ali as his appellation, and I know how I am. any Moors out there with Ali in their appellation, I think they're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That's just how I am. So, forgive me. It's just that, when I'm looking at Moors that call themselves Ali, and I'm thinking like, you couldn't just start out with Ella Bay, could you? And just earn that, masterful title there. However, what I missed was the first to this, and I think you and Brother Taj had Sister Renee forwarded to me, right? And so Sister Renee had forwarded to me. That's how I even have it saved, is that at the top of my file there. So then I made the other 3 meetings, which you gave me DVDs for after you processed them, because you recorded those meetings. Like, if people don't know, the reason, like when I first went to House of Reawakening Minds on 3rd February 2017, I had in my mind, and I said, oh, wow, these Moors are are doing amazing. Mother Delilah records the lecture that Brother Taj gives at Mother Naila's House of Reawakening Minds, and then those videos are broadcasted via New Nigel's page. So I thought in my head, sincerely, I'm like, yo, this is genius. So it inspired me to, move forward on it even further. Until I realized, Dr. Naila wasn't too happy about that or whatever, right? And it's no slight to her or anything. I'm just pointing out the fact that I saw the beauty, to me, being one who's running studios and an audio visual engineer. I'm like, oh man, this is beautiful. One's providing the venue, one's giving the lecture, one's recording the lecture, and then there's another one who's providing a lecture on YouTube. And so that's how I looked at it then. So fast forward to you, and I still have all 3 of those DVDs pertaining to the consular restoration meetings, which we were practicing Majlis, right? And knowing how to actually hold things and do things according to rudder and sextant the best that we could to our knowledge, with Brother Taj, presiding, so to speak, at these meetings, you and him actually. And to see that it got miscomprehended in what it was, and it wasn't really any of the people that attended those meetings, actually. It was some other parties that got their hands on, because sometimes that's what happens. We'll just freely share the information. And then there will be these contemptible spirits that will pop up and then try to make an organization out of what's simply just a brainwashing. This was just supposed to wash the dirty brains that forgot the constitutional code pertaining to government and how to conduct themselves according to their ancient foremothers and forefathers' principles based on fatwa. Right? So now that, that you're here and you're sharing this with us, this is great for the people to get to hear from you. You in prototype fashion and initiated fashion, develop these questions. And Brother Taj, like, as you said, he edited some things so that we could be able to comprehensively do what we're doing now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, even though we're at the Divine One, we stopped at Divine One and last Sunday, I'm going to go down a little further past that, but we're going to come back so Brother R can do his presentation, right? And I'm going to just read a couple of these questions without answering them, even though I think this particular one is the one that I was answering the question. So what you guys see in green here is me answering some of these questions. And I think I only answered maybe the first 3 or 4 because I was doing it in between, being busy with other things, of course. However, I read this whole document plenty of times, probably more than 2 handfuls worth of times, because when I saw what the questions were, I realized that these were the same questions that back in 2017, just in spirit, not all of them, but definitely the first 2, when people was doing writ writing classes that I was proctoring. However, someone else was handling the finances who was definitely dishonorable. However, that's a whole another story. These were the first 2 questions I definitely was asking people, right? So let's look at question number 1. Question number 1, in law, what is a writ? Question number 2, in law, what is an affidavit? Right? Question number 3, I think I passed that, went down too far. Let's come back. Question number 3. Describe and identify the distinct differences between a writ and an affidavit, and how are these instruments similar, right? So it looks like I only answered the first 2, it's looking like, right? Oh no, okay, hold on, how did I skip number 3? And anyway, okay, I answered 4. Why, number 4, why must we, Moors of the Northwest, fly our colors? That's why you always see me, in other words, what she's saying, like the standard that you guys always see me having my standard on, right? Which I think we got to get Brother Taj one, because we done seen him 2 lectures in a row without his standard on his cap. And it's like, whoa, you got to probably send Brother Taj a standard, send a gift up there to House of Reawakening Mind so that he can, or that's to Dr. Naila so that she can hand him a standard. So he can put that there. Back on his cap if he chooses to. If not, cool. But why must we Moors of Northwest fly our colors as customarily displayed upon our lawful and legal documents and instruments? I'm going to actually read that answer, because I think what I have there, the answer I have there, I had used flag from John Bouvier's Law Dictionary and Concise Encyclopedia, 3rd revision for Francis Rawls. And this is within volume 2, right? F through M, because it's 3 volumes. And you guys have access to that in Prophet Noble Drew Ali University within our Moorish law study portion of our library. And it says, who wants to read the answer there?
I'll read it, bro. Answer, flag. A symbol of nationality carried by soldiers, ships, etc., and used in many places where such a symbol is necessary or proper. Nationality is determined by the flag when all other requisites are complied with. 5 East 398 B and P 201 1C Rob admin or administrative, right? 1 Dodds admin again 81 131. The near ride 9 Cran, that's probably Cranch, right? US
Probably.
Baseline Bouvier Law Dictionary and Concise Encyclopedia, 3rd revision, Francis Rawl, Volume 2.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be an S there on Rawls. However, let's continue, right? Question number 5. What is a maxim of law? And guys, remember, this is what Mother Delilah is thinking, all right? She goes and meet with Prophet Noble Drew Ali in her literature often, and this is whom I was doing a lot of studying with, and still, even when I call to check on the mother, we go over certain things and concepts. Really, lately, it's just been, correct me if I'm wrong on this, because I think this here mother is some bullshit. She'll be like, she'll spit something that's, that's the prophet's literature, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, you're right. It's just like, man, that's why Brother Taj said in class Friday, you can help people, but separate your emotions, help them out, and then walk away. Like, you know what I mean? So to move further, what is a maxim of law? That's number 5. What is a precept, right? That's number 6. Number 7, what is the meaning of primogeniture? Number 8, what is the divine constitution? Oh, my love, thank you so much. What is the divine constitution and bylaws of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science? Number 9, what is the general function of a consular court? And I'm going to stop right there, because that's the questions in lot 1. However, it's like, to know what those functions are, to have lesson book 14. And I was also like, I don't even think, and I'll be corrected whenever if I speak with Brother Taj soon. I don't think consular venue was supposed to be ran by Moors at home. I think consular venue concepts here was to show Moors that consular court was relinquished in 1956 by Dwight D. Eisenhower, which is showing you guys that since the jurisdiction was relinquished, that anything operating here actually should be not operating here. And most people feigning for any state of corporation, saying that they're under federal statute, right? I don't care what you're near, state of Maryland, right? because the state ofs are the corporations. The republic, for Article 4, Section 4 in the Constitution, would be Maryland State Republic. Whereas the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is a democratic unum sanctum corporation. Whereas the de jure, according to Article 4, Section 4 in the Constitution, would be Pennsylvania Commonwealth. Same for when it goes for Illinois, Nevada. There should be Illinois State Republic, Nevada State Republic, North Carolina State Republic, Kentucky State Republic, Ohio State Republic, just to give a few. All right?
Can I interject right here?
Yes, you may. I yield, mother.
Because the only point that needs to be known is the original 13. Everything else is de facto. Everything else is de facto. They created, it was created after the original 13. That's all that was looked at, litigated at, and examined. Anything else outside of that, because we were given the European the right to have corporations here. A corporation, and their main headquarters was District of Columbia. But each individual state was unto itself a country. I want to say a nation unto itself. And so to include all the other things sort of clouds and deliberately it was clouded to steal or defraud the Moors of their birthright. It was deliberately done to cloud. It was only supposed to be the 13. None of this other stuff was supposed to be included. None of this other stuff. None of these other nations were to be included in this. It was originally the 13. And then by doing that, the confusion is propagated and maintained because they were supposed to only have 30,000 in Pennsylvania, and then you got 8 representatives. All this other stuff was just the cloud, because reconstructing history has been the main goal of this the Unum Sanctum policy. To maintain the Unum Sanctum policy has been propagated to look like, it's more than 50, there's 50 states. No, Alaska and Hawaii, that was still forced. All these other things, it was just 13 original corporations were supposed to do business on the land and nothing else. So I think I'm sharing with you that, the thing about the 3/5, that's for taxation for those Europeans, those modern Europeans who came here. That taxation was for them. So I don't know if I'm sharing, I don't know if it's clear what I'm sharing, but it was only supposed to be 13. Nothing else, 13. So I yield.
It's very clear, Mother Islam, and to add to your wisdom, even in a document post about that the post office has out on zip codes, zone improvement plan codes, right? There's a 4-part video that I've shared before of our beloved son that transitioned in 2011, Bill Faust, and he goes in on zip codes and things of that nature. And when you go to see even the so-called United States Postal Service, only ones that are considered states, so to speak, are the original 13 colonies. Everything else is considered, even in the United States Postal Service system, as the other ones outside of those 13 are not a state yet. It'll say not a state yet. All right. Mm-hmm. So the thing is what you're dealing with here, really, to keep the people docile from warring, right? Because technically, someone's trying to evict you out of where you rest your head, and you go and read statutes on what they're actually supposed to be doing if there's something arise like that, and you go and research stuff like 42 United States Code 1437 DK and realize that the only way people can remove you from your home is if you have agreed by contract, oath, and certified statement that you're a federal agent within the state, right? That's the key, within the state. If you don't have that, these people should not be talking to you. And if they are and they're trying to remove you, then consider, okay, well, if you're trying to put me in a part of your game, then the only way you can't do evictions. There's no law, legal or lawful, to make people homeless. You can only relocate them, which means you have to give them at least $15,000 even after, right? Even after. Guys need to look up Federal Register, volume 59, number 61, right? No, volume 61, number 59, pertaining to 42 United States Code 1437 DK. You're supposed to go through a due process hearing for housing and urban development, period. And if that's not taking place, technically you have one or two options. You can take it upon yourself and use a scimitar and chop the heads off of those that's trying to remove you, or, you know, shoot them, put a bullet in their head. Or you can kindly ask them what's their favorite color, and then find that color noose to hang them in. Because the people, a lot of you people out there are docile, and you'll leave it to a few Moors that are confident to be sacrificial lambs because you're sitting back watching, instead of taking this information, doing everything that you can do to comprehend it, to make sure you're being sincere, invoke or speak out to the universe to really, hey, look, I affirm that I'm sincere, and universe, you're going to conspire in my favor to make me sincere so I can comprehend these things that I'm reading, so that I can further assist the entire planet. Not just Brother Taj, not just Mother Delilah, not just the Brothers of Seven Hill Star, the entire planet, because there is an evil that bureaucratized itself and is holding the heirs on the land and their subjects, or sons and daughters. The Albion sons and daughters are subjects pertaining to Morocco. All are being held as they are contracted, oath taken, certified statement, autograph making agents that are under federal statute within the state. And that is not true, because none of them are service members, part of the Army or Navy or National Guard. All statutes, all codes, all policies are only for those in the military, period. People should not, the heirs on the land and their subjects should not be paying rent, should not be going for mortgages. Not because we are some radicals, because that's not what we're doing. Even though radical, when you look at the etymology, means to descend from the root. So technically we are radical, not in the negative connotation sense though. What we're doing is we're putting everything into perspective and saying, don't let clowns that are meant to be a part of the circus force you into a rubber nose. Don't let them do that to you. Don't let them put on sideshow Bob size shoes on your feet, because you'll end up just looking like a crusty clown. So I think it would behoove us to stop coming to lectures like it's a concert for you to mentally masturbate in the crowd in, and really start fucking doing something. Really study this. Meet Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature and make these connections. Why we look at Prophet Noble Drew Ali and Charles Mosley Bey, and comprehend what Charles Mosley Bey did with establishing the Great Seal, as far as how you see it with the panopticon, the one eye, connected to the pyramid. And then figure out why you've had members, which the last living member, Mother Rashida Bey, have a Great Seal National Association for Moorish Affairs at that time, which at the end of the day, if people would have upheld what they did when Prophet Noble Drew Ali was on the scene, and when the infiltrators wanted to do what they do, you kick their ass and maintain the integrity pertaining to the temple, instead of this bullshit maladministration that we have going on in a lot of these venues that feign being the Moorish Science Temple of America. You're not, because you remove yourself. And I can show you the Illinois compiled statutes that shows due to your maladministration. I don't give a fuck who you are, what Mason Lodge you're a part of, and I don't care. I probably done talked to most of you guys in 2016. You're creating harm. You're doing the opposite of the divine constitution and bylaws for the Moorish Divine and National Movement, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm going to show you all the nesting dolls in which this movement is encased in or entrusted within. There's a problem on the planet. I yield, bro. What you say?
The interesting part about that, pardon the interruption.
Good.
I just wanted to add real quick. The interesting part about that is that most people that I meet that heard about the movement or joined the movement, they didn't hear about it from, an established temple. Most of the people I know, they heard about it online or through somebody that they know that doesn't really attend the temple, but just knows about it through online. That shows that the people who are moving without a organized temple under state laws are actually putting out a lot of information. It seems like some of these temples want to remain like a secret club, and they're not really on the hedges and highways as far as trying to get people to come into the knowledge of themselves, their nationality and birthrights. They're more just probably focused on having their little meetings or whatever, and just keeping their little few faithful members, but not really out there like pushing the message like that.
And in my experience of going to temples, and I'm pretty sure Mother Delilah, you could give yours also. And in my experience, the things that turned me away was when people said, when first, literally, I mean, it's almost feels like doing a dare, right? You go and mention Brother Taj Tarik Bey's appellation in a temple, you will get the face. Remember Devil's Advocate when Mayor was seeing the demon faces? That's what you begin to see. Like, so the first principle, they're doing the opposite of that. If you mention a brother's appellation, which they don't even know in their countenance and their eye rolling and teeth sucking, that they're violating Act 3. And then expect us, Moors with our eyes wide open, that are new, that are coming into this information to carry out the prophet's law, they expect us to not know that or allow them to mind fuck us into not knowing it. How dare you? So the best way to move old Moors to the back is to have an election. And usually that election doesn't necessarily even have to be administered through a formal election. It could just be a group of Moors that sincerely comprehend after going to meet with elders consistently for 15 months. I was going to House of Reawakening Minds to see Brother Taj and Mother Delilah. Because that's who I saw behind the actual, you got the lecturer and you got the recording. Other than that, the venue could have been anywhere. However, we're thankful that Mother Naila provided the venue. We're thankful that new Najiel, the brother, actually provided the YouTube channel. I'm thankful. However, at the end of the day, guys, we gotta keep it real. You guys gotta stop letting these infiltrating Marine people. I haven't met one being from the military that's been consistent in the Moorish movement. Not in my experience, not one. Even though when the prophet was on the scene, there were people that were part of the Army, National Guard, Navy, all that. Could go to the armory and mess people up if they threaten the prophet, all that. Great, cool, awesome. Right now, though,
Let me interject right here.
I yield.
But the prophet said, there be not one. Don't be pointing fingers at anybody else.
Can you put it a little closer? I didn't hear what she said.
Can you repeat again? You had faded away.
If there be not one, you be the one. If there be not one, you must be the one. Pointing fingers at somebody else and stuff like that. No, when you point fingers, you point 3 fingers back at yourself. When you're pointing at someone, 3 fingers are pointing back at you.
Mm-hmm.
So the point of the matter is, regardless of whether Naila or anybody else didn't do what they were supposed to do, or the Moor Science Temple didn't do what they were supposed to do, I sat for 4 years under a brother who knew the circle 7 front to back could repeat it without even looking at it. And he gave me that which I most needed because I called for it. Obviously, I called for it because it wouldn't have come to me because law governs all events because there's no such thing as happenings. That's chapter 2. There's no such thing as happenings. So it says law.
Thank you.
What am I? Yes. Law guides all events. Law governs all events.
Law governs, yeah.
That's chapter.
Governs,
that's
yeah.
chapter 2, verse 7. Law. There's no happenings. Law governs all events. So so I sat there underneath that brother for 4 years. That was just technically the same as getting a bachelor's degree, with him. And he gave me so much, to work with, so much information, so much knowledge, so much hypnosis to work with that I said, no, I'm going to be that one. I'm going to be that one, regardless of whether anybody, whether nobody does what is necessary, because the prophet already provided everything that was necessary. He gave me those 2 books, those 2 pamphlets, 101s, 102s, if you want to include that. But he gave me the Holy and Divine Quran. So I decided to sit my ass down and study it. Not just, wait for somebody to, hey, what's the answer for this? What's the answer for that? The cheat sheets. I decided to sit down and study for self, regardless of whether anybody or nobody or somebody studied. I needed that. I desired that. I wished that. I called upon it. And I invoked it because I needed that. And when I came here, my mission to come here, I understood what my covenant. I began to understand what my covenant was to be here in the first place. I understood my covenant, and then so many words, so many letters, and so many terms. I started investigating, getting deeper. So I started studying the letters unto themselves because they're words unto themselves. The letters form terms. And term means it has a beginning and has an end. And what does it say? Time never was when man was not. And if there was a time when man was, then there would be a time that he would be not. So, to be in a finite mind and not comprehend infinite things, I decided to sit down because it's there. He gave it to me in chapter 1. And then all the other chapters that he expanded upon chapter 1, creation and the fall of man. Or the creation and the fall of mind, because man is mind. So I looked at these things because I'm understanding that I came from the heart chakra, so I can climb up higher and higher and higher and higher, rather than being stuck down in the lower 3 chakras. The highest that you can get in the lower 3 chakras is intellect, but I have intuition and insight. And where do you meet Allah?
In the heart.
In the heart. So wherever I go, I carry Allah with me. Wherever I go, if it be here or there, I'm carrying Allah with me. And then in chapter 1 it says, Allah and man are one. Allah is love. Allah is love. So I'm because like it says, dear mothers, teach your children to learn to love instead of hate, Dear fathers, if you teach your children to learn to love instead of hate, you can set your house in order. So that those 2 records that he has put down, he divinely prepared. I'm utilizing those assemblies, councils, meetings, and discussions because I know what the word thing means. Thing means assembly, council, reading, and discussion. So I carry that with me. The discussion that I'm having with Allah, that which was doing within my heart. And it is love. And it also says in chapter 2, it says not only see the light, walk the light, see the light. At this point, I yield.
In Islam, Brother Terrell was ad-libbing there, saying the pinnacle of wisdom is what you were going in on there. The chapter as pinnacle of wisdom, as well as to add to your wisdom in if you don't see someone else doing what you think need to be done, you get up and do it. So with that, after seeing how it was at certain temples, even one brother wanted to pull out a dagger, talking about if you pulls it out of sheath, it can't return unless there's blood on it. Like, isn't that from the 40-year-old virgin? But anyway, yeah, that's that line when they're arguing, the Hindustani brother and the unconscious Moor arguing in the middle of the store or whatever. That's where I'm like, that's the 40-year-old virgin. But anyway, whatever. And another thing for me was also when I saw Moors was saying, when I was talking about astrology and some of them temples with the maladministration, which allowed me to go and do what I'm doing, when it was like, you know, hey Mo, the prophet ain't bringing the sun, moon, and stars, Mo. All that astrology ain't necessary. That's not Moorish science. What doesn't the Moorish American prayers say by night and by day? So yeah, I'm gonna stay away from them. like that's the only way I can see that. Like, these guys are just some fucking idiots. Like, I gotta stay away from them. Because at the end of the day, when I meet Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature, you know, I gotta admit, I'm a bit of my mother's warrior. That hence the Ghazi L. Ghazi, warrior, commander, very similar to Boaz. L, my mother. So Ghazi L is my mother's warrior. And that's why I do what I do in the mind. And like I said, my elders keep me grounded, as well as my brothers and my beloved mother, Mistress Consort, in whom I'm well pleased, first and foremost. So with that being said, what I'm actually going in on here, guys, is speaking to what it is that we need to do and must do so that we can be all that we need to be in assisting in bringing our beloved ones, right, back into the constitutional fold pertaining to mind rulership turned government, right? That's termed government. So that's why I wanted Mother Delilah come on and speak. What I'm gonna do is, can any of the brothers add on? I'm gonna use the little Moore's room real quick. Let me put you back here on the stand. I'll be right back. Brothers, can y'all go in, or Mother, you go in? I yield.
Islam. I just wanted to add real quick when she was saying that Alon Manor 1. Of course, it says to teach men that through carnal words and thoughts and deeds they debase themselves from Allah. And that's the whole thing about Noble Drew Ali uplifting the Moorish Americans by teaching them to be themselves. Because being yourself, you're not being in your carnal nature, you're being in your higher state of mind, right? Operating those higher chakras you mentioned. So there's so many lessons within what the Prophet left for us. There's no reason for us to be wasting time. I think there's enough work for everyone. I think everybody knows that. And I think more should take themselves serious wherever they are, even if they're that only one, right? Even if they're that only one, they should just take themselves serious. And like me personally, what I did is I got with some Moors that were doing good, and I helped them do better because that was the instruction. There is no temple, physical temple out here, right? Other than our physical bodies, right? But I seen Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey and other Moors too that I've assisted. Ever since I nationalized, I've been pretty active. But I really seen that, you know, with the bros and 7 Hill Stars, where I seem to fit in best, right? Where I can add my part. So, Islam, I yield, bro, if you got something to say.
Like I said, the concept important question there was, yes, test yourself. Not test yourself. I engaged a lot of stuff, but I was not obligated to that. I was doing myself. Whether I was confident enough to demonstrate walls, so it's not just for anybody outside of myself, it's for myself as well. You know, because higher self, lower self.
Islam.
Gather information, knowledge, emotions, that's chapter 18. Holy man says it's not the master of the house, more honorable than its walls. So I'm inside of the house, and I'm demonstrating and utilizing without myself. Back to the consciousness, back to the war. I slow down the vibration, slow the vibration down.
You can come join me if you want. Hold on, can y'all hear?
We can hear is very low. I was waiting for you to
hold on.
come back.
Let me bring it back close. Hold on, let me put the phone back in my hand, Mother Delilah. Go ahead, start over, Mother Delilah, what you were saying.
Oh wow.
Well, you go. I heard. We heard most of it was just very low.
Can't hear me.
Oh no, we can hear you. I just put the phone back close.
All right. So these were questions for not only those outside myself, but for myself as well. Because what is the higher self? It is the mother of the virtues and the harmonies of life, and justice, mercy, love, and right. So it's integrating those questions with that. Know that I'm basing the basis of what the prophet is guide my life. Figure out what it is that I'm here for, what's my mission, what's my covenant, what am I advised, why I'm here. Like I said, when I start going through the lectures, the words of themselves, I start understanding that Delilah. Start to understand the passe. Start to understand the L.
Come back to your microphone, Mother.
I'm back. I'm too far away. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's perfect. But you said you started to really comprehend as you started studying yourself. You started comprehending your appellation. That's what you were saying.
Yes, because people are afraid to say, "Oh, that's my name." Well, the name, by definition, is a person, person, place, or thing. Or thing means assembly, meeting, council, or discussion. So, my name is my assembly, meeting, council, or discussion. And I told my mother, the Stargate, what to call me so that I could remember why I came here in the first place. Why did I come here? So I take the D, which is Dawa, means door. And then I take the rest of the letters and understand what it is to complete my holy and divine mission here while I'm here,
Mm-hmm.
So that's not who I am. I'm not the body or the soul, I am more than that. I'm not the body and the soul. I am, as Psalms 82 says, it's not written in your law, it's your God's. And then John chapter 10, verse 34, it's not written in your law, it's your God's. So I'm just, getting back to where I once was before. But that, as you say, generator, operator, and destroyer, and I'm invoking attributes I was because I forgot. And looking up the words, let me back that up, terms, because they have a beginning and end, ending, like the word heart. I looked up the word heart and reading, the term heart, and then reading the circle 7, I looked at the definition of heart. It means metaphysically the seat of memory. So when I say, I know that song by heart, I know that poem by heart, I don't read the same way that I used to read when I read the Circle 7 the first time, because it was just superficial or literal. Now I get into the depths of what the prophet was giving us, because obviously, to put Circle 7 on the front, I need to go at least seven depths, 7 levels of what the prophet has given us. Look, I yield.
And that's the key, the mystical key or mythical key to the English language.
mystical key.
That's what I thought. That's that exercise. I just wanted to make sure I recognize it. Brother Sean has that book. I got to still order mine. I'm pretty sure me and my beloved Mother Mistress Consort will order that soon. I do have my other one behind me, the one on the Hebrew alphabet, the purple and gold book. That's actually behind me on my in my library.
I think the
Look at
more
the letter Lamed, L. Look at what it says. Look at the definition of Lamed is. Just look at it. It says to learn and to teach true knowledge from the heart for divine redemption. And what's the first letter of the word love or the term love? L. So to learn and to teach true knowledge from the heart for divine redemption. I came here to redeem myself and to redeem that which was lost to me. Salvation. Islam. I yield.
Islam. I mean, we're about to now get scroll on back, and I'm enjoying my party victuals right now as we're speaking. A little bit of chip and hummus and some dip. However, we're going to scroll back up and have Brother Hasan Bey, right? Yay! Read. Going back to the divine warning portion of the 108 consular restoration questions, actually. So we're at that portion there because I wanted to just read everything before we even got to the questions. That's why I just read the first 9 and within the first lot and the second 2, right? Well, in the second lot, the first 2 in the second lot, I let it be seen because you go in on Charles Mosley Bey there as far as what it is that he has shared with us. So let me make sure I'm here where I need to be for the divine warning. So we're going to start because Brother Ara had read the divine warning last Sunday, right? Sunday prior. And I guess we could start there and Brother Ara can continue while I hit the down arrow. And if you want to interject or you got to go, just let me know, Mother Delilah. And I'm going to put you back on the stand over here, but I'll still leave you on speaker. And if you say anything, I'll just have to take it off and then bring you back close to the microphone on the iPad. All right. All right. Islam. So, and you can still watch if you got another device there, watch from YouTube. Okay, good. Okay. So I'm going to yield the floor to our beloved brother in whom we are well pleased, Brother Hasan Bey. Islam, bro.
Islam, bro, and Islam to the mother about the whole reading comprehension being different when you read something the second time, the third time, the fourth time. As the way I see it is like as you go back into that state of mind that your ancient foremothers and forefathers were in, that's definitely going to change your comprehension to be able to get those extra nuggets, those extra jewels out of the literature that you're probably blind to. Like me and Brother Hasan were just talking about it the other day. Like, we're going over these documents or these books that we haven't read in a long time and getting more comprehension, more understanding than we did when we first. And that's that's like one of my favorite portions in studying when you go back over old material and find something new.
And not to cut your wisdom, just to add to your wisdom, like even today, when I was like, bro, I'm navigating these statutes real easily. Like it almost feels like with the statute navigations, like I'm remembering that I've already known these things instead of like, oh, this is so overwhelming. I got to go over here and look for this statute. It's like, nah, let's grab this. Let's look at this. Let's look at the public acts. Okay, cool. The public acts are where the statutes are deriving from, pertaining to whatever meeting the General Assembly had. In assembly, like in Moorish Latin, Assemblea is church. So the General Church had this meeting and now they got these statutes for people to be statutorily adjudicated under, which is it's only supposed to be for those that have a contract, or oath of office, and an autograph certified statement. You know what I mean? But okay, they want to put it on the common people. Okay, cool. We've got to stop this demon, this demon energy from seeking to adjudicate upon the people with the General Church statutes. It's against my religion. I yield, bro. Islam.
Right. Islam, a divine warning by the prophet for the nations. Money doesn't make the man, It is free national standards and power that makes a man and a nation. The wealth of all national governments, gold and silver, and commerce belong to the citizens alone. And without your national citizenship by name and principles, you have no true wealth. And I am hereby calling on all true citizens that stand for a national free government and the enforcement of the Constitution to help me in my great missionary work, because I need all support from all true American citizens of the United States of America. Help me to save my people who have fallen from the constitutional laws of government. I'm depending on your support to get them back to the constitutional fold again, that they will learn to love instead of hate, and will live according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, supporting our free national constitution of the United States of America. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. There are other major and focused directives and instructions issued to all Moorish Americans and coming from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. These and other uplifting indicators likewise should serve us well and inspire us in our continuing work. Children, you are at home, and the European is 3,000 miles from home, and he is going to have to take some water. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. There are going to be new Moors that are going to come in with their eyes wide open, seeing and knowing.
Oh, forgive me. Hold on 2 seconds. It kind of got away from me. That joint started scrolling along. All right, hold on. There are going to be new Moors. I yield, bro.
Right, there are going to be new Moors that are going to come in with their eyes wide open, seeing and knowing that are going to take you old Moors, seat you in the back, and carry out my law. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I had to go around my elbow to get to my thumb.
Oh, stop right there. That's one of my favorite. Go ahead, finish reading. I gotta ad lib on that one.
Yeah, I had to go around my elbow to get to my thumb to get what I wanted out of this government.
Let me go on that one right there. I had to go. I know Mother Delilah remembers this one, like back in like 2019 when I was going in on that one. I'm like, I'm reading the oral statements and prophecies while also looking at it with an astrological mind. And having, because Mother Delilah was the one that, and I guess her and Brother Taj made the decision for me to go and meet Mother Rashida Bey, right? Who gave me a few books. Now that I think about it, my first two was my Encyclopedia of Medical Astrology by Howard Leslie Cornell, and my Encyclopedia of Astrology by Nicholas DeVore. And as I'm looking at, because everyone knows that that's really my main thing is medical astrology. Everything I do technically is medical astrology, because I know medical or medicine, right? Medi, middle, cine, to see. So to have a divine balance in your eye, right? Your first eye or third eye, however you see it, to have a balanced sight is one being their own medicine without being called a drug in a motor vehicle, which is a motor syringe, right? So with that being said, and knowing those things there pertaining to medical astrology and being able to keep myself out of the grips of unum sanctum policy enforcers, right? I see that elbow is ruled by Cancer, even though its overall rulership is Capricorn, right? Dealing with the skeleton overall. The knee, however, knees and skeleton is Capricorn. However, opposite of the knee is the elbow, when opposite of Capricorn is Cancer. Cancer, a lot of people will know, oh, Cancers, they're so emotional. That's that mundane stuff. When you guys want to see people without a turban or a fez on and use slang terms to try to say things about astrology, like, oh, all Aries are just hotheads and they're fiery in their attitude. Shut the fuck up. That's shut up. Because they boil it down. It's like, but you gotta let people know who don't know what you know. Fuck all that. You guys are the mothers and fathers of civilization, and your Albion sons and daughters are really the children to be supported by you knowing how to enforce the Constitution so everyone can have what they need on this planet. Peace, harmony, love, right? So what'd you say?
Truth.
Yeah, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, which is always going to take its course. So the elbow, if you want to put it in terms of emotions, Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, I had to go around my emotions, right? Because I'm pretty sure he's passionate. He wanted to fuck something up too,
Yeah.
right? However, he said he had to go around his elbow just to get to his thumb. Me, being an astrologer that knows medical astrology, Ayurvedically speaking, elbow is Cancer. Thumb is Gemini. That's communication.
Hands, yep. Islam.
I'm a Cancer.
I'm
My
a
brother's
Gemini.
a Gemini. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, Prophet Noble Drew Ali said I had to get around my emotions just to get to what I wanted to really communicate to, out of this government. And what he's speaking about there is those that were and are utilizing statutory codes, policies, ordinances, right? To have the people that do not comprehend the constitutional fold. And they're allowing themselves to be railroaded because they do not comprehend that they don't qualify to be even acting nor adjudicated upon by statutory actors. So you're not supposed to be acting under statute. That doesn't mean go out here and be a fucking dickhead and be a criminal, creating corpus delictis everywhere. Oh, I'm going to hurt this person since I'm not a federal agent and contracted. No, fuck that. Justice is going to take its course and catch your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people, when they really grasp this or hear what it is that we're saying, they think they can be slick. That's not how this works. You can think you know this. What you say?
Just because you're not subject to a statute doesn't mean you're not subject to law, because all law governs all events. So at the end of the day, while you thinking you slick, skating from some type of obligation, which we know you didn't have no obligation to those statutes. We know they're de facto or whatnot, and you don't have oath of office or whatever, but thinking you're slick and not being sincere, you're still under nature's law. So, tighten up.
Yeah, you'll find yourself on a highway holding flags, getting 9 other innocent people, having discord in their life. Or you'll be the only guy in the situation and no one else can free you, and you are the guy supposed to be freeing everybody. Insincerity leads us there. I should know. I've had my insincere experiences at times. However, it was in my first year real early, and I kind of got corrected on them real soon by some elders. I was like, oh, glad I didn't do a whole lot of fucking up to learn that lesson. But I didn't have to be held for months in someone's correctional facility, and I've never consented to be corrected. Back to the Declaration of Independence, 1776. You must consent to be governed. That's why we keep saying, where's your contract? Where's your oath of office? Where's your autograph certified statement that says you're going to use your property? Do you know your rights is your property? 50% of the time, you're going to be using your property, your rights, which is inalienable, unalienable, can't be sold, bought, or transferred.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple. Very simple. That was the other device. That was the
I kind of want to read it. I kind of want to read it again with that comprehension, because I think that was beautiful right there. What you just said.
Go right ahead, bro.
Islam. I had to go around my elbow or emotions to get to my thumb, or the proper communication to get what I wanted out of this government.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of think about that like, yo, I don't want to do this, but let me just put those feelings to the side and let me just file this real quick, and let me get my people over here and let me give them this. Let me do this before I get up out of here and leave them with everything it is that they need to save the nation.
Correct. Islam.
All nations will turn against the United States one day. Prophet Noble Drew Ali. that one's heavy right there, bro. That, because we already know that's heavy. The half has not been told. If I told you everything, you would go back to sleep. Probably after you cuss me out and chase me around with a knife.
Right, yeah, chase the prophet around with a knife, all that. And this is like, prophet said, I have the right mind to leave you all. Because y'all say y'all with me, y'all say y'all backing me up. This motherfucker just chased me around the temple with a knife and all y'all just sat there. I got the right mind to leave you. Now, were we there in these bodies, hearing Prophet Noble Drew Ali saying these things? No, we weren't. Well, how you know that's not hearsay you guys are going with? Who wrote those oral statements and prophecies? Like Mother Delilah said, once we got past our intellect, all we're using is discernment, insight, and intuition. So with that being said, I can discern very well and know the importance pertaining to discernment, what resonates and what doesn't, actually. That's why I don't really listen to people too much. I'll go, like, I remember Brother Taj said, you really want to get to know someone, meet them in their literature. And I stick to that. I stick to meeting people in their literature. I can discern when someone's lying or telling the truth as they're speaking to me, of course. However, what I'm actually saying is like, man, some of that stuff you read in the oral statements and prophecies, which some dogmatic beings will call the hadiths of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Look, we're not going there. You magic carpet flying cow towers and worshipers 5 times a day. I'm not knocking you either, because hey, your Bill of Right 1 is intact. You can go and realign yourself as you please. However, don't bring that to me because I'm only dealing with the constitutional fold. I don't deal with beliefs. I don't deal with dogma. I deal with the 12 signs of the zodiac, geometry, and the numbers 0 through 9. And solve economic, social, and political problems. That's it. I don't give a shit about anything else, technically. Because without those things intact, how am I going to be able to have my loved ones be secure? So I don't really care what's, the latest reality show or things of that nature. I want to be able to, have the right mind to defend the prophet. Because people are still chasing him with a knife. They're just doing it in the spirit now because he's not physically in front of your face. But you're trying to cut the prophet out of many things. Hey, I'm going to take charge of the situation and come and get your genealogy recorded with us. Shut the fuck up.
Chasing them with not with the knife, but with the sword, which is really the words that they're
Correct.
using that are not right. They don't have right words. They don't have jurisdiction. Those are the swords, the words, the knife that people chasing, people, the prophet or people that come in the spirit of the prophet.
Right.
Away with.
Right. I'm laughing at Diesel because he's all near my juice. He's like, I can smell the mint and celery in the juice. Leave my juice alone, Bobby. All right. No, but bro, you are absolutely correct. I yield the floor to you, beloved brother. Islam,
Prophet Noble Drew Ali, as our illustrious prophet said, quote, reflection is the business of...
Hold on. I don't know what just happened there. Give me 2 seconds. All I did was press the button once. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Start over, bro. Give me 2 seconds. Let me scroll it on back. Let me make sure I'm where I need to be, bro, because I know we was at the quotes pertaining to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Let me just make sure I'm where we need to be. It might be too. Okay, we are right here. Great. Right before we get to consular courts. Great. Okay, I yield, bro. Islam,
as our illustrious prophet said, quote, reflection is the business of man, or reflection is the business of mind, right? End quote. Any honest or dedicated Moorish American or historian possessing even a minor degree of integrity cannot deny that the researchable and reasonable principles embodied within the fundamental rules of law as found within the organic constitution for the United States at North America are at the heart of the Moorish Divine and National Movement.
There's that heart again.
Right. The memory, right? The heart, the memory. Islam. Logically, any and all associated activities, groups, and organizations rooted in the activities or studies of or inspired by this great humanitarian movement founded by Prophet Noble Drew Ali must inevitably reflect the same, especially if any such orders or organizations stay true to the identifiable cause upon which the original humanitarian Moorish order was founded. And now, since we are still under occupation, we consider our Moorish affairs. We, active Moors, convene again via the order of the Great Seal to take on the ongoing responsibilities of enforcing our Constitution covenant derived from Muslim law, deemed for governance at Northwest Amexem / North America for the United States of America. The subject.
Hold on, bro. I don't know why this thing is moving like that. I promise you, I'm pressing it one time, and it's like it wants to do like a fast forwarding. Okay,
the subject matter.
Right,
Islam, bro. The subject matter placed before us and that we are charged to address at this time is consular courts. Consular courts are held by the consuls of one nation or country within the territory or jurisdiction of another nation or country and established under the authority of a treaty for settlement of civil cases. I think I'm gonna read that one again.
Yeah, do that again.
Yeah. Consular courts are held by the consuls of one nation or country within the territory or jurisdiction of another nation or country, the one within the other, right? And established under the authority of a treaty for settlement of civil cases. In some instances or cases, consular courts also have and exercise a criminal jurisdiction. In respect to criminal cases, however, the home country, nation, government, by territorial right, maintains the right of review in such cases by its courts.
So in other words, we are the Mohammedan judges. Your mufti, our court rules stuff. So when I'm corresponding, whether through YouTube with my bros or I write a document, I'm the Mohammedan judge. My brothers are the Mohammedan judge. Mother Delilah, Mohammedan judge. You don't have to start some group and all of that. You see that it says treaty in bold for settlement of civil cases, right? Mm-hmm. Back to the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, because these people are using so-called English law and they're definitely crusaders. And we already know what it says in the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. If a Moor was to wound or kill a Christian, or a Christian was to kill or wound a Moor, we already know what's supposed to happen. The law of the country is supposed to take place. What's the law of the country? I'll tell you. It's called Guyana Shagoa. Guyana Shagoa is what the French call the Iroquois Constitution. Some people say Iroquois. It is not Iroquois, because that's not what the Haudenosaunee called themselves. The Haudenosaunee called themselves Haudenosaunee. They were speaking Algonquin. They weren't speaking French, even if they knew it. They didn't call themselves by a tongue foreign from theirs, technically. So we, being the Haudenosaunee, enforcing Guyana Shagoa, given by the Dekanawida. Dekanawida is the peacekeeper, the one who keeps peace. So what's the law of the so-called country? Well, this is Morocco. The law of the country is and always will be Guyana Shagoa, which is falsely termed in French the Iroquois Constitution. That's the actual law of the country, which all other constitutions derive from, i.e., Articles of Association, Declaration of Independence, Articles of Confederation, Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1787,
Constitution,
North American Republic Constitution for the United States for America, ratified 1791. All five of those are derived from Guyana Shagoa.
And the state constitutions.
Those two, which are subject to those five that I just named, ADATN, Articles of Association, A. That's that first A. The D is Declaration of Independence. The second A, Articles of Confederation. The T, Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1787. The N, North American Republic Constitution for the United States for America, ratified 1791.
And to top it off with the little cherry on top of that, or that milkshake you just put together, that jurisprudent milkshake you just served up, the cherry on top is that every entity or every organization organized under the states and therefore have to fall in line with that whole milkshake. You know what I mean? Any entity, any organization, any corporation, any business organized under the laws of the states have to be in harmony with the Constitution as well. So that means all those businesses are subject, because all those businesses have their own constitution and bylaws, right? All those businesses are subject to Muslim law.
So can you read that last sentence? Because I want to ad-lib something there.
Among civilized governments, a consul acts as a chief executive magistrate.
And I'm going to put this out here. I'm open for correction. And if you get mad, so if people are still acting as if the white D. Eisenhower didn't relinquish jurisdiction here in Morocco, what else could Joe Biden and Kamala Harris be other than consul and vice consul? Oh yeah, I'm open for correction. I dare you to correct me. You said they were clones? They're clones, right? So at the end of the day, is it my fault that you guys don't know this? Those that don't know? Is it my fault that you guys want to sit there and act as a consul general for something? The only chief executive magistrate would be some foreigner. Remember, this document that Mother Delilah put together and Brother Taj edited, and again, I'm open for correction here, was for concept correction. Did Brother Hasan go out there, start a group, say, hey, let's go camping and take firearms, even though Prophet Noble Drew Ali said Moors don't walk around with as much as a penknife? I didn't do that, and my brothers don't do that. Mother Delilah didn't set that example for me, and she wrote this shit. How dare y'all try to take charge of the situation? Contemptible fucks you are. I said it, Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey, and I'm going to stand on it. Because you're too busy chasing after Federal Reserve notes and clout, trying to be somebody. If you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere. What you say, Mother Delilah? You about to say something?
That clout in chapter 29, all right? Not for these ensigns do you do this. Not for these ensigns. Chapter 29. Come on now.
Magistrate and subject. So technically, right? So
the wealth of a king is the welfare of his people.
You know how much clout you can get. I am big and great and terrible. Not for that.
Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the lawman that enforces the law for the chief executive magistrate to be able to conduct himself accordingly to keep his subjects in order. That has, in my mindset, nothing to do with the heirs pertaining to Morocco. I know you guys are probably getting tired of this. Well, why does Brother Taj? Brother Taj is a master chessman. He's going to see who's actually reading. Hey, Brother Taj, I think it'd be a great idea for me to put on my fez and my or my turban, and then fly my colors, have on my standard, and then I'm just going to go play chicky in traffic. He's going to be like, "That's a great idea." The reason why he's going to say that's a great idea is because whether you're wrong or whether you're right, I mean, yeah, you know what I mean? Whether you think you can or whether you think you can, you're right. So the thing is he's not going to micromanage you. He said that to my face. I'm pretty sure he said it in front of Mother Delilah when he said it to my face. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to micromanage you. And if you want to go jump out there in front of land conveyances playing chicky in your fez and or turban and your Moroccan pin, your Moroccan flag pin, cool. Don't be talking about, Brother Taj, come save me. I got hit by a Mack truck. Well, don't we have the same information? Like, that's what he's gonna say. He can't comprehend it for you. So you guys got to stop expecting those of us that know and comprehend what the prophet has laid down and what many of our elders have done great works in making sure we had things. Everybody took a piece of the work. Lots of work out there that needs to be done. So yeah, I've got it. I've got it from Brother Taj, Mother Delilah, Mother Rashida Bey, Mother Ross Mariah Bey, Anna Ida. A lot of people contributed because it takes a village to raise a child. Period. And all of us, even the ones that I just enumerated by their appellations, we're still those new Moors coming in with their eyes wide open. Just because they're our elders, they weren't there in the 20s. This is what you guys have to really see. Like, are you really comprehending what the fuck is on those? I gotta get a thumb drive from House of Real Wicked in mine so I can just be a part of the I got a thumb drive crew. Really? Really? These are the new Jordans? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, don't bring that because I just seen that. What's his name? Kyrie Irving had a piece of tape on his shoe talking about Black/Moorish liberation. Like, don't put black before Moorish and try to act like that's cool. That's not,
yeah, Kyrie, you're a problem.
like, it means the same thing. Black/Moorish. No, does not mean the same thing.
Yeah, stop listening to hazy rods out there and wife beaters and fucking blacking mouths in their mouth talking about and more being black. If you don't shut your just came home from the penitentiary looking ass up. Shut up and go sit your ass down and study. Because you're an idiot.
Natural fool.
Natural fool. Folly coming out of their mouths. No fez, no turban, no standard, which proves you have no respect.
No fez, all cap. No fez, all cap. But your
No
grandfather
fez,
got
all cap.
But your grandfather got a marked up fez.
Yeah, this is my granddaddy. He was a Mason. If you don't, man, Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, don't mark your fez.
Those who were with him are with him today. Those who were against him are against him today. That's how I looked at that.
These highfalutin niggers in the mind. Y'all being black people, why do you keep taking on a title? And then I'm gonna yield here from pontificating about on my soapbox. Why you keep calling yourself the pale skins? Black/more Kyrie. Hey, Kyrie Irving. Black is pale. Yes, the pale skin are Moors too. However, they're subjects. They're the original beings that we did child support for. You know what that child support is called? And the only child support actually is ceding them land. That means we gave up land for them to have so that they can survive until the sun completely absorbs them or until they got blooding back. And really, the only sincere blooding back is Moabite mothers absorbing the Albion sons. That's the only way the child can continue to be Moorish, because Moorish sons with Albion daughters, you're just creating modern Europeans. However, the Moorish nation is both those that have the copper tone, olive shade skin, and also the pale skins. We all make up the Moorish nation. You guys are just out the fuck of order. That's it. You're out of order. Don't know the order. And then when I come sharing my perspective, because you don't have to believe shit I'm telling you. However, I still have yet to be corrected, you know?
Yeah, most people want to be United Statesians.
United Statesians. Yeah, that's what they want to be. I am a part of the United States of America Republic, United Statesian. Shut up. Put that in your cannon and blow it. Pause. You guys are idiots. And I get it. A lot of you guys came post 2017, 2018, because I'm just gonna say it. You were jealous. You saw Brother Hasan there at House of Reawakening Minds, and you got jealous. A lot of you. That's the only reason why you got your societies and your republics and all these other. You were jealous. I hear it in your voices when I've ever been on the phone or a live chat. You're fucking jealous and envious. And never had to be, because I really share the shit with you people. Check yourselves. Learn to love instead of hate.
Speaking of relinquishing jurisdiction,
I yield. Islam.
because we were just talking about that too, right? And it's right there.
Of course.
United States Corporation Company, U.S., relinquishes jurisdiction in Morocco. On day 1 of August 1956, the occupying European United States Corporation president and the board of directors of the United States Corporation Company, the only ones that can make decisions, right? Board level decisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Calling themselves Congress of their private U.S. corporation.
Unum Sanctum Corporation.
Say again?
Unum Sanctum Corporation. Yeah, I was just
right.
I was just doing my yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, hit them ad-libs, right?
Mama. Okay, go ahead, I yield.
Splash.
Splash.
Relinquished jurisdiction in Morocco. So again, because that was a good one right there. On day 1 of August 1956, the occupying European United States Corporation president and the board of directors of the United States Corporation Company, calling themselves Congress of their Unum Sanctum Corporation, relinquished jurisdiction in Morocco.
Mm-hmm. Their private Unum Sanctum.
This abandonment of jurisdiction was affected via the private and feigned as public. Right? It was affected via the private and feigned as public. Administration. Of the private U.S. corporation. And with the said relinquishment having been recorded as being repealed via section 141 to 143 in reference to consular court in Morocco, the same is noted in chapter 807, statute 744. One must therefore remember and know the heretofore suppressed fact that Northwest Amexem is the heartland, right?
There's that word heart again.
Yeah, that's why I emphasized it, because at that point I was thinking like the Akashic land, you know what I'm saying? Like of the Moroccan Empire and the Northwest, and that Northwest Amexem / Northwest Africa is North America, the North Gate.
To the
Relinquishment of consular courts, 1956. The German / Dutch European Dwight D. Eisenhower, Commander-in-Chief of the United States / Roman branch of the Inquisition Trinity, exercised the executive powers vested in the seat of the Praetor / President of the occupying United States Corporation Company, a company originally established in France, 1754, by the European Benjamin Franklin. Eisenhower invoked the powers vested in his position and relinquished jurisdiction in Morocco via memorandum issued by himself on the 15th day, September of 1956. Thereafter, all pending consular court cases were disposed of by the year 1960. Reference is made to the same by a bulletin of the State Department, posted in volume 35.909 of...
Hold on, forgive me. That was me again.
You're good.
Hold on.
You're good. I just finished
there you
that.
go. All right. Sweet. All right. So when you're talking about reestablishing consular courts here in Morocco, what that is a...
That would be for the United States to do.
Say that again.
That would be for the United States to do.
So what we are to do is enforce the Constitution. If you guys want to be here running your United States corporation or whatever, your private unum sanctum corporation, then you have to do it within the confines of consular court. Because other than that, the people, once they really learn what this is, have the right to put a fucking bullet in your head or fucking hang you from the highest branch of the tallest tree they can find. I'm not being mean. I'm not invoking, do harm to people. I'm telling you that the penalties of treason is death by hanging. So if there isn't a consular establishment where Moors are enforcing these beings, you think you're a president? Cool, great. Okay, you think you're a governor? Fine. You're a mayor? You're a county executive? Great. You have to do it within the confines of a consular setting. Anything else, the people have the right to remove you from the planet. Or you can decide to hold your breath and never inhale again. That's an option. That's very, simple and zen. No one created a corpus delicti there. Delicti, corpus delicti there.
That's like that that saying, or I think it was a quote, I think from Henry Ford, talking about if the Americans comprehended the banking system, there would be a revolution by tomorrow.
Which is why Prophet Noble Drew Ali said it's a breakfast fight.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the people really need to do. You guys really need to comprehend that there shouldn't be a governor, a mayor, a lieutenant governor, a county executive. There shouldn't be police, sheriffs, nothing pertaining to the executive branch operating, nothing pertaining to the legislative branch or the judicial branch actually operating absent of the consular venue establishment being the grounds upon which they're acting. Anything else is outlawlessness. Outlawedness, which is lawlessness. That's
is it a coincidence?
Hold on, Mother Delilah said that, which is notwithstanding. So everything operating that's purporting to be so-called United States government are unconstitutional. Hence why Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, please, basically, help me in my mission to bring my people back to the constitutional fold of government, because we're actually within these great and awful days that he said are yet to come. They're here. We're past midnight. All right, brother.
Yeah.
All right, I yield. What was you about to say? Well, you about to say something again, Mother Delilah?
No, it's just Islam and you.
Islam, Mother. Go ahead, brother R. We yield to you,
Islam,
brother.
I was gonna say, no one can say it's a coincidence or, some just random happening that the United States didn't become official in anyone's eyes until they were official in the Moroccans' eyes. Like you guys don't realize that you guys were not considered official until the Sultan recognized you. Then you got your constitution. So you're telling me the nations of the world did not recognize them? Like the prophet said that the nations of the world will not recognize us in our current condition. So at that time, prior to the treaty, the nations of the world were not recognizing the United States. It wasn't until Morocco recognized you. And hold up, what made the empire's recognition so powerful that it made you guys official after it took place? Everyone else had to. The Moor said, okay, the Moor said so. All right.
You lucky the Moors co-signed you being all right.
And a lot of the Moors. Hey, that's funny because a lot of the Moors wasn't with it. Still, when you read the letter from George Washington to the Sultan, he was like, "We're sorry about the hostilities to this nation by some of your name. We don't know why they're so hostile towards. You know why?
Because first of all, they didn't want the Sultan granting them, the space. However, the Sultan was being honorable in harmony with karma, basically. However, George Washington still ran off on the plug and still did some bullshit. He did an attack when everybody was sleeping. You see what I'm saying? So technically, because George Washington's letter to the Sultan, that was December 1st, 1789. That was hey man, my bad. I don't have that bread and I'm about to run off on you.
he's a backstabber for sure.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. George Washington should have been got hung. However, the Sultan was showing mercy because the Sultan comprehended that we should have either never done those experiments and just kind of withered away and died until the universe thought to bring some other being on the planet that's like us, or we were supposed to follow instructions, mix our genes with the chimpanzee, transfer our consciousness accordingly, and then get rid of that experimental program. But no, you want to keep putting dick in these monkey bitches. Yeah, I said it. That's what I said. I know there are daughters. I'm just going to keep it a bang with you so you guys can put it in perspective. I'm not being mean either to our Albion daughters. I'm putting it in perspective because sometimes you guys need to hear it like that, and I don't apologize. So what you wanted to do was keep them in your harem. Now look what happened. You kept the Albion daughters in your harems. The children that they have in their wombs are learning how to war against their fathers, war against the process that their mother chose, or maybe not chose, because they were concubine. What'd you say, bro?
I said DAR.
Yeah, that's what you got now. You got the Daughters of the American Revolution now. That's what your harem is now. So you really want the Republic back. You need to be caring for your sons and daughters without wanting to keep me. I'm not a part of the blending back process. I don't need an Albion daughter, nor do I want one. Trust me, I just turned one down last year. My beloved mother, Mistress Consort, was witness to it. What color do you like? I'm not picking lingerie, lady. I don't like you like that. No, just pick a color. I ask everyone. Bitch, if you don't get on my face, that's where I was at. That's where I was with it. Because I don't prefer monkey vagina. Respectfully. That's how I look at it. I don't want the troglodyte nigger. I'm not being mean. I still love you all. I love my children. I'm just not into incest. That's all I'm saying. So the Moabite mother is perfect for me. I'm just saying, this is what happened when you make your February 15th try to be permanent. She'll make children that'll rise up against you, and then you'll have an American Revolutionary War. And this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with family feuds. Every war has been that. Islam, every war has been a family feud. Brother Ara, he had muted for a second. So I can go in and start reading this here until Brother Ara comes back. A notation on contracts, covenants, and agreements. Because we talking about, Brother Ara brought up the Treaty of Verona when we were looking at the ERLTA, right? The Uniform Residential Landlord-Tenant Act, which what they wanted to do, the whole purpose of the Uniform Residential Landlord-Tenant Act was to get rid of common law and to base the landlord-tenant situation on contracts only. So the contract is the law in a landlord-tenant situation. However, if you don't know that there must be two competent beings on the contract that mutually agree after having settlement in Henry Campbell Black's Law Dictionary 4th edition in legal parlance is a meeting of the minds. No minor can be a party to a contract. So with that being said, if you are someone who claims you're a real estate agent or something, you're giving out mortgages or trying to get people to get mortgages or leases, you're only supposed to be selling business opportunities. And since you're in the position of agent, you are a minor ward of the state. I don't care how old you are. And then if that whom doesn't know that you're only supposed to be doing X, Y, and Z, and they put themselves thinking they're a quote unquote tenant and they don't know completely, but yet you're trying to enforce a said contract, you have just performed what is called unconscionability with a unilateral instrument, and you deserve to be hung. Completely Islam. So a notation on contracts, covenants, and agreements. I yield, Brother Aura. Islam.
Islam. In the rules that govern contractual or covenant agreements, an obligee or obligees, being several or joint, designates a person or persons in favor of whom some stated obligation is contracted, whether the said obligation be to pay money or that the said obligation is binding the person or a party to such persons to do or not to do something established by the said contract of covenant. If or when an obligee to a said contract or trusteeship or to a covenant abandons, breaches, or relinquishes his, her, or their obligations, trusteeship, or commitments related to the said contract or covenant, the party thereafter stands null and void of any rights, jurisdiction, or powers or benefits associated with or emanating
Supposed to be
from
emanating, but oh no, it is emanating. You're good.
emanating from the contract or covenant in question.
So once the White D. Eisenhower relinquished jurisdiction at Morocco, anything claiming to have reestablished their activities without reestablishing consular jurisdiction, they're void ab initio. They're null and void. As soon as they thought in their inception, we're going to do this because those Moors are asleep. Boy, it was only a matter of time for new Moors coming with their eyes wide open. It's only what I'm trying to tell you. You think, remember that video I showed? And it was a policy enforcer getting shot by somebody near the, I think it was Orange County Corporation, California State Republic. And I told y'all, I predicted years ago, I said, it's going to come to that. People are going to start shooting policy enforcers. That's what it has to come to. You guys don't get it. See, you guys think that this is just, oh, let's sound intelligent on YouTube. No, this is the Moorish Divine and National Movement. We are AstroCivicians. We are Astro-Masons. Without having to get bent over by some brotherhood. Without pinning our tassels down. All we did was sincerely study that which was given by our elders. That's it. And out of all of us, there was quite a few of us too, Mother Delilah, wasn't it? That all got this information from you and Brother Taj and other elders. And I'm really sincerely thinking that we're probably one of very few, if not the only ones, that didn't try to start something for all the people to follow. We recognize that we all have to work together.
Let me add that we all must be priests unto ourselves too. You know, you can't just, it's easy to follow, but the point of the matter is you must be a priest unto yourself. You must know the information for self. And I yield.
Islam, Mother. We yield to you, Brother Aura. Islam. If a party.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with what Mother Delilah just said. That's why it's Islam. I self-law master. Not I self-law and me, but I got someone I like to follow because because sometimes I'm not master of self, but nah, it's just Islam.
Yeah, we call that Iflam or Isfam around here. Iflam is I follow law and master, or I follow some lord and have them master me. And then Isfam is I self-follow and master. This is not, it's not about followership. We're joking when we say these acronyms because we like to comedically put in perspective the things that the people need. Come on, guys. Let's really be real. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can access this real quickly. Can I access YouTube while I'm on the phone with Mother Delilah real quick? I just wanted to see if that could be seen just very briefly, right? Oh, Mother Sahara is there. Let's just holler at you guys. Okay, there's the sex site. You guys are fucking horrible. Let's remove you. A girls 18 site. Fuck you and your porn. You always want to come and get some. We don't care. That's how you know we doing something, man. That's right. You're like, come on, man, get out of here, right? To report you. You know, Tyro Bay, peace and love. Slim Herban Islam, peace and love. Mother Sahara, peace and greetings to all. He said you have a Bouvier's as well, getting the understanding correct. And you guys got, you guys got access to Prophet Noble Ali University. All of you guys have that. Hey, our brother Morpheus is there. Peace and greetings to you, right? Mother Sahara said, I can't hear Mother Delilah, but we came closer though at the when that actually happened. Gratitude on that, needed that correction. Indeed, Slim. Indeed. So with that being said, let us yield the floor back to you, Brother Ara. Indeed, Islam.
Right. If a party to a contract or a covenant takes upon himself, herself, or themselves to breach or to relinquish his, her, or their obligations, or to abandon their standing or position in such agreements, the party in relinquishment no longer wields any jurisdiction or authority in the matters set forth by the said contract or covenants. To relinquish means, quote, to withdraw or to retreat from, end quote. To leave or to leave behind, to resign, to yield, to abandon, to withdraw, to retreat, to give up title to, or to stop holding physically, etc. Therefore, in the matters of any authoritative or jurisdictional claims previously assumed, presumed, or established by the owners or representatives of the United States Corporation Company were declared null, void, and extinguished. Therefore, Dwight D. Eisenhower, President of the United States Corporation, relinquished political and occupational jurisdiction. Therefore, Dwight D. Eisenhower, President of the United States Corporation, relinquished political and occupational jurisdiction at North America, Morocco. Such a demonstrated action constitutes abdication. Therefore, in the matters of foreign relations and intercourse, the German/Dutchman Dwight David Eisenhower, President of the United States Corporation Company, serving from 1953 until 1961, executed the following. Dwight D. Eisenhower repealed and relinquished Foreign Relations and Intercourse, Section 141, RS, subsection 4083, 4125, 4126, 4127. Act June 14, 1878, Chapter 193, 20, Statute at Large 131, right? So volume 20, page 131, related to judicial authority generally of ministers and consuls of the United States in China, Siam, Turkey, Morocco, Muscat, Abyssinia, Persia, and territories formerly a part of the Ottoman Empire, including Egypt. Dwight D. Eisenhower repealed and relinquished Foreign Relations and Intercourse, Section 142, RS subsection 4084, related to general criminal jurisdiction of ministers and consuls of the United States as above stated. Dwight D. Eisenhower repealed and relinquished Foreign Relations and Intercourse, Section 143, RS subsection 4085, related to general jurisdiction of ministers and consuls of United States and venue of civil cases as above stated. In light of the German Dutchman Dwight D. Eisenhower's actions, relinquishing jurisdiction at Morocco/the North Gate, it should become clearer to active and conscious Moorish Americans as to the prepared wisdom of Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his constructing and presenting to the active Moorish Americans the divine warning by the Prophet for the nations and the divine constitution and bylaws. Clearly, the Moors were and are being prepared for exercising self-government again at the North Gate. And that brings back
Period. Self-government. Not wait, that's our consular general. Free our consular general. You're oh my God.
Can we bring up chapter 1 really quick?
Oh yeah. I mean, go right
Really
ahead.
quick.
Hold on. You want me to bring it up? Of course. I can bring up chapter 1. Give me one moment. Let me stop the screen share here. I can always come back and screen share there. And let me actually bring up the Quran here. Let me see. I got you. 2 seconds. Let me share screen. Boom. Share content. Screen. And start broadcast. You still there, Mother Delilah? I just put the picture of the prophet behind me. Just want to make sure you're still there. All right, cool. All right, Islam. So
to add to the wisdom of what I just read, right? If we could look at chapter 1, second page, I would believe. Yeah, let's go to the second page. I wanted to point out something real quick to add to the wisdom of what I just read, where it says, "Hear now, O everything that is or was or evermore will be, for wisdom speaks from out of the highest plane of spirit life. Man," oh wait, hold on. That's not exactly the part that I wanted to read.
Okay.
I wanted to read right where it says, oh, okay. So I see what's going on. That's like yeah, keep going. I think it's a little further. It is where he says here now, but it's the other part. See, okay, there it is. Let every living thing stand. That's what it is. It's in the bottom paragraph, right towards the middle. Let every living thing stand still and hear. Man is the Lord of all the plane of manifest, of protoplasm, of mineral, of plant, of beast, but he give up his birthright just to gratify his lower self. So
Egypt.
Exactly. Bondage to sense consciousness. If we go back to what we just read, where it says about governing yourself, if you're the Lord of all things made manifest, are you supposed to be a following subject?
No.
Not if you're going to reach that potential of that seed, right, of that special plant.
Correct.
Clearly, the Moors were and are being prepared for exercising self-government again, being the Lord, being the Lord of all things made manifest, right, on this plane, Islam. Act 1 of the divine constitution and bylaws presents unquestionable evidence of regency, preparatory restorations by way of the Moorish Divine and National Movement of North America. Funny how that's the last sentence, and then the next subject is breach of trust. Know exactly where that's going.
Jesus, Bruce Lee Christ.
Some don't want to be the Lord of all of the plane manifest.
That's why, like I said, you got, look, I'm not pointing the finger. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying there has been a miscomprehension pertaining to that which Mother Delilah prepared, which Brother Taj had edited, alrighty, that she said, cleaned it up, right? Because I don't think Mother Delilah had it in mind, like, yeah, I want this document to make people jump out there and do a so-called rising of Moors, which ended up being a fall of Moriscos. Or she said, not at all. That was not her intention. Nor for people to start a Moorish American consulate infiltrated by someone who holds the door for George Bush. Nor supposed to, the office of the Consular General of Morocco. How?
We said Moors are A1. We didn't say Moors are at Air Force One.
Yeah, we're A1, not at Air Force One, like Brother Aura just said. Like, Come on, guys. We got that A1 stamp and seal, man. I ain't talking about that. You know, people say stuff in the hood and in the streets and don't even comprehend it. They're talking about their general and permanent character.
Mm-hmm.
They just have it as slang. They think it's cool to say.
They think it's just steak sauce.
they think it's just steak sauce. A1, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not just steak sauce. Sauce. All right, we yield. Breach of trust. Go ahead, bro. Islam.
Yo, I was just thinking about how like there's so many connections to the Moorish history here, like even like the president's house being called the White House, and we know that's Casablanca. Like everything, there's just so much that we can point at, and even though a lot is covered up, the little pieces that we have is enough to say, okay, this is what it is. This is what we got to do. Especially like the fact that a whole prophet came to you. You know what I mean? Like it's not like, oh, we just have these little pieces of information. Like a whole prophet came to you, did what he did, and all of that. You know what I mean? And now we're like picking up the pieces, you know, and picking it up and running like we got the torch. You know what I mean? But it's just crazy how some people will still try to deny that which is evident, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
breach of trust. When exercising the social duties in society, one is required to know, to support, and to enforce the fundamental isonomy, rules and laws set forth for the peace and harmonies of the grand body politic of the natural people. These standards are commonly expressed via a written constitution and or a treaty covenant. A breach of trust is any act that is done by a trustee which is contrary to his or her delegated terms of the said trust, or that is done or executed in excess of his or her authority. That's called superseding your authority right there.
Mm-hmm.
And to the detriment of his or her trust. That's even worse.
Chapter 29 again.
This would include any wrongful omission committed by a trustee or any act required of him or her by the terms so stated in the trust. A breach also includes any misappropriation by a trustee of any funds or properties which had been lawfully committed to him or her in a fiduciary character. And so we measure by the foresaid the related standards associated with a breach of duty. A breach of duty is, in a general sense, any violation or omission of a legal or a moral duty. More particularly, we note or examine the neglect or the failure of one charged to a duty or to a post or to an office in their failure to fulfill in a just and proper manner the duties of an office or of a fiduciary employment. Guys, this is simple. That's like if you go to do a job for someone, say, hey, I need you to hang these pictures on the wall, and then when the homeowner comes home, you're putting nails in the TV, like, hey, what the hell are you doing? I told you to hang these pictures up.
That's a breach of trust.
That's a breach of trust. Blatant breach of trust. Every violation by a trustee of a duty which equity lays upon him or upon her, whether willful or whether willful and fraudulent, or done through negligence, or arising through mere oversight or forgetfulness, is a breach of duty. A reference of addressing such breaches is expressed by Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his presentment of Caveat Emptor, one of my favorites, as made available to all conscious Moorish Americans. We want to be fair, balanced, and responsible in our civic duties and social duties of keeping those who govern over our lives in check. This is why constitutions exist in the first instance. And so we review the meaning of the measures for recognizing breaches of trust, of duties, and of offices The ethical principles are generally universal. Read again, Act 1 of the Divine Constitution and Bylaws, and draw from it the obvious foresight for the need of constitutional enforcement and the foretelling insight demonstrated by our illustrious prophet, Noble Drew Ali. The Divine Constitution and Bylaws, Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the chairman of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science is in power to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the prophet and the grand body of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. The assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. If you don't, get him out of here. And it is known before the members of the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. So he got to live by love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and everyone has to know it. That means you have to carry that reputation.
For real, you gotta not be afraid to wear your fez. Who cares what the people think or if they're intimidated? I don't care. I'm not removing my fez for anyone so they can feel more comfortable. I don't cater to unconstitutionality.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Yeah,
and we make this known every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I yield, bro. What you say?
I think, man, honestly, bro, I think with like the science, knowing that all human experience is generated from within. When people feel uncomfortable, that's within themselves. I mean, they can say that an outside reason is the reason why they feel a way within, but at the end of the day, they allow that to happen. It's the same thing like when you call somebody out of their name, one person might yell at you, one person might attack you, one person might laugh at you. All based on the same word you call them. You call someone out their name, you're going to get 3 different reactions from 3 different people because that uncomfortability is actually created from within. So what is going on within you where you see someone else a certain way, it makes you uncomfortable? And how does one even consider that one is to adjust themselves in order for you to adjust yourself? That's ridiculous. That's why these people need knowledge so they can stop blaming everyone else for their problems and they can start to fix things. Poignant questions for all Moorish Americans. A, does the history and the public record related to government at North America and relative to the documented administration of the Moorish Divine National Movement of North America show that the Grand Sheikhs and chairmen in the Moorish movement held true to their assigned roles and carried out the Constitution laws? Have the alleged public officers operating the United States and who were put in place to carry out the Constitution laws done so?
I say no.
And if I mean, they're using the Federal Reserve System now, and it's like they act like they don't even know what gold and silver is.
I think they've been, their minds have been infiltrated, thus which makes maladministration for the Moorish Science Temple of Americas that are out there for most of them, if not all of them now at this point. Seriously, a lot of them have capitulated due to the fact that maybe, just maybe, you know, their tempers, their angers, all of these things, you know, a lot of them are, you know, receiving, you know, paychecks, being under occupation. They are, you know, and I'm not knocking them for that. I just can actually see what happens when you really immerse yourself in that which Prophet Noble Drew Ali expressly prescribed. You know what I mean?
Indeed.
You know, so I'm just really thinking like, you know, a lot of people still are working, getting out. There you go. They may have been put through Edit Chamber and maybe Grand Sheiks or whatever the case may be, have some form of title. However, their character, when they're so-called quote unquote not sitting that office pertaining to Grand Sheik or Assistant Grand Sheik, still shows that they're still solving sums. Chapter 9. And again, I'm not pointing fingers. as much as I'm saying by me forcing myself to do, I don't have to, because like I said, in the Baltimore Corporation, usually more science is looked at like a jail religion. So since I don't have to be in someone's correctional facility against my own consent, I put myself through my own private, personal, sentient being bit. I put myself through my own bit and studied that which Prophet Noble Drew Ali has out there. So yes, I am a student pertaining to Moor's Heritage and History School, which means I'm staff also, because when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
It's long.
So with that being said, I am clear on my position because I relied on my comprehension and meeting Prophet Noble Drew Ali and his literature. And then I come and share freely because that's what the dictates pertaining to my soul prompt me to do, because I know what my mother sent me here for. I will never forget, and I just spoke to her yesterday too, right? And I love my mother so much, especially more that I'm, traveling more and I can see some things. Because one thing that really sticks out in my head about my mother is she always said, be a leader, don't be a follower. I'm not leading anyone or any group, especially when it comes to Moors. All righty, me and my brothers are equals. What she meant by that was simply, don't be a fucking follower. That's what she's saying. That's what she was basically saying. But I think sometimes what we do with our little ones will say something that they can aspire to further keep them from that which we actually mean. My mother could have just said, don't be a fucking follower. However, she was like, be a leader. Don't be a follower. She could have left the be a leader part. I was just like, look, don't be no fucking follower. Okay, cool. But however, she didn't say it like that. And so I'm so thankful and grateful that, at times I've been hard-headed and insubordinate when it comes to man's laws and rules. However, when it comes to nature and the divine and national constituents, rules, usages, they're really in harmony with my character. So even if I was to take my fez off, which I won't, unless I'm like laying down or, and usually sometimes even here, with my loved ones, I still have my fez on. Never know when I need to walk to the mailbox, take out the trash, get groceries from the front door. So I usually always have my fez on unless I am literally relaxing with my beloved mother, Mistress Consort. It's really ingrained in me. Now I'm in my 9th year. It made 8 years the end of November. Now I'm within my 9th year and we'll be complete in November, the end of November 2023. That I've just really washed my brain to the point where I gotta always be Moorish, period. Why? Because that's my nature. How did Prophet Noble Drew Ali begin to uplift the Moorish Americans?
Teach them to be themselves.
Y'all said that exactly in unison. That was freaky. Just now, your mother.
Hey, that was in such unison. That was in such unison. I didn't even hear her say it.
Because I can hear, because the phone's right here, so I'm hearing you and y'all said it at the same time. That just kind of blew my mind just now. That was amazing. And y'all said it at the same speed and everything. Yo, now that was amazing. Yeah, by teaching them to be themselves. So when I meet Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature, I'm pretty sure when Mother Delilah meets Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature, I'm pretty sure when Brother Aura meets Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature, we're all being further taught and reminded to be ourselves. This is why Mother Delilah was saying, in concert with her studying the Prophet's literature, these are the questions that came about. And it was not her intention for Moors to get themselves held on any highways or become some general's consulating somewhere or some Moorish American consulate, being started and infiltrated by biglet looking richies. She didn't say that part. I said biglet looking richies. I will tell you, if you go back to that video, May 18, 1928, I'm gonna say this, I can be corrected. But even when that shallow Moor with no fez on touched Mother Delilah on the shoulder after asking her to come up to the stage, obviously I know Mother Delilah. There was just this look on her face like, don't touch me, motherfucker. Like, yo. Because we all know it was bullshit.
Yeah, that guy has unum sanctum vibes.
He's completely an unum sanctum agent. Talking about on my phone, talking about, yeah, Brother Taj say some Moors have to work out their arrogance. Look, man, you ain't got to talk around me to talk to me. If you think Brother Taj was referring to me as somebody being arrogant or working out the dross, let me tell you what it really is. I don't fuck around. I don't play, and I can point out that phony shit, and I'm not going to be all, cordial and politically correct. I'm like, hey, motherfucker, you on some bullshit. That's why that whole May 18, 2018, at House of Real Awakening Minds with the so-called consular restoration meeting or whatever, I kept saying, Islam. That was me actually saying, this is bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
We can't hear over Hassan. He keeps talking because I'm saying this is bullshit. I keep saying, I self-law and master. Fuck you, I self-law and master. That's what I'm really saying in that video. I'm agreeing with Brother Taj on points that I'm agreeing with him with. But a lot of that other stuff, it was bullshit. It was bullshit. I don't care what nobody say. It was bullshit. And it was really a means to separate the wheat from the chaff, if you want to talk chess.
Mm-hmm.
I yield, brother. Let me scroll on down so you can continue reading this other portion. I'm going to send this out, but I'm going to really just share this once we're complete and once we're done, because I'm just feeling the synergy between UI and Mother Delilah. I yield, bro.
Islam, it's all love. You already know.
You already.
B, have the foresaid administrators maintained the integrity vested in the peoples and the members' seats of power as trusted to them. Refer to the divine warning for the nations by the prophet and measure their words, their works, and their deeds accordingly. C, have the organic, hold on, I don't think I read A. Did I read A?
Yeah, you did. We can go back though to review because I think I just ad-libbed really long. I did a really long splash, right? But you basically, what the question is, did people, according to Act 1, the Grand Sheiks and the chairman, did they do what they supposed to do, or did they relinquish their jurisdiction at Moorish Science Temple of America, Moorish Holy Temple of Science within the Moorish Divine and National Movement? But I'm a yield, so you can read that question the way it's written. But
that's why I said, what if we did a telephony field trip, right, one day, and even though I was kind of joking in spirit, I don't mind either. But I was saying, why don't we call the temples and ask them if there's a list of the laws that the grand governors have created that that they were allegedly empowered to do pursuant to Act 1? Are they actually carrying that out? You know what I mean?
Grand Sheik, all I see is Grand Sheik, chairman, assistant Grand Sheik, and the members. Those are the 4 parties that are mentioned in Act 1. And so those are the 4 that we need to be questioning. We need to be questioning the Grand Sheik, the chairman. However, the chairman, I don't think really needs to be questioned because the man in the chair is Prophet Noble Drew Ali. That's what we have behind us, because he's the only one in the chair. However, if you want to say if they have a so-called chairman at them, which I'm pretty sure Mother Delilah can, confirm that, some temples, because Mother Delilah still goes and visits temples at times and assists. You said at times?
Yeah, frequently now.
You said frequently now?
No, infrequently, because one of the temples I went to, they shut down, and I think the building's up for sale, if I'm not mistaken.
What temple? We're talking about number 11? Number 11's up for sale?
No, 10-1 at Philly.
Oh, okay. Got you. So if there is those four beings need to be questioned. The Grand Sheik, the chairman, that's not Prophet Noble Drew Ali, right? In that sense. The assistant Grand Sheik and the members that are supposed to know that the assistant Grand Sheik is is assisting the Grand Sheik in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. That's who all needs to be questioned. So that's why, if you don't mind, can I read A and then you go into B, bro?
Yeah,
Can
I mean, we already read it.
again?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Right.
Yeah, it's long.
All right. Does the history and the public record related to government at North America and relative to the documented administration pertaining to the Moorish Divine and National Movement pertaining to North America, does that public record show that the Grand Sheiks and chairmen in the Moorish movement held true to their assigned roles and carried out the constitutional laws? My answer was no.
Absolutely not.
What you say, bro?
My answer is absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Okay, cool. Mother Delilah says no. Have the alleged public officers, quote unquote, operating the United States and who were put in place to carry out the constitutional laws done so? Again, emphatically, no.
That's a H-E-double-L. No.
That's H-E double hockey stick. No.
Double hockey stick.
So, all right, B, bro. Let me scroll down so you can read B and C.
Double hockey sticks because they're what was I gonna say? Double hockey sticks because they're passengers.
Yo, yeah, because you're
Playing with
talking
the snow
about
and shit.
you're talking about the ski lift, right? Hey, yo, that's a statutory joke, guys. We have civic jokes now, like, and they are hilarious because we really study. All right, well, go ahead. Anyway, bro, I yield. B.
B. Have the foresaid administrators maintained the integrity vested in the peoples and the members' seats of power as trusted to them? No. Refer to the divine warning for the nations by the prophet and measure their words, their works, and their deeds accordingly. C. Have the organic Constitution covenant laws been preserved, enforced, supported, and promoted by those who have been assigned to that charge, or have they breached their trusts? All active Moors / members of the Order of the Great Seal, please complete answering the following questionnaire. The participants are asked to complete the questions with due diligence. A competent completion of the same we use to assist the consul members in selecting a jury for consular court. Islam.
So that's another thing. Being jury, right? So jurisconsults are what we are, right? And that last portion right before the questions, Mother Delilah, I know you remember, a competent completion of the same will be used to assist the consul members, right? So that doesn't mean that we are those, right? The consul members. So that means maybe, just maybe, right? We have these people that claim they're running their, corporation. And now like, hey, you guys have to do things within the consular, mind frame or whatever. So now they're like, okay, since we know this, we have to be fair. And making sure that when it comes to consular court, that it's a jury of their own peers, instead of trying to bring Moors into these corporate venues that are one-sided railroading situations. You see what I'm saying? Right. Oh, look, it says it right there, consul members. So we are supposed to have a consulate. No, you're jurisconsults. And technically, if you want, okay, I'll be esoteric about it. Yes, Brother Hasan's a minister and consul only by this means. Anybody outside of me is technically foreign to me. So since you're foreign to me and I'm dealing with self-government and I'm foreign to you, I would be ministering to myself, and it would be a consular affair between me and anyone outside of myself. That being foreign in the esoteric sense pertaining to soul evolution. Other than that, one mother's breast have given a suck.
Pardon the interjection, bro. Just to add to your wisdom, because man, my mind was spinning right now. I was just thinking about how, like, you as a being, as your own being, right, in your own body, right? We are like separate pieces of land and water to others, right? Mm-hmm. So even though, like you said, we're all connected, like all the lands are actually probably connected through the waters and stuff. Like it's
Or
everything is
even
connected.
under the sea
Right.
floor ain't separated. But go ahead, I yield.
Exactly right. So even though the lands are above the water look like they're separated, which that would be like us, we look like we're separated. Because again, when they talk about and there shall be a new heaven and a new earth, that's the new mind and the new body is how I look at that. The earth being the body and the heaven being the mind. So that would be that new heaven and that new earth when you reach that, that level of consciousness. However, when you said that about the minister and consul, right, being foreign, and that makes complete sense. We're like walking bodies of land and water, you know what I mean? And we should be able to govern ourselves. And in the same way that they try to control politics in one country, right, on one landmass, is the same way that they'll try to manipulate your thinking, because you are the walking land, right? So when one is trying to manipulate your thinking, they're trying to actually they're trying to I guess mold the politics of your landmass, right?
Correct.
That's governing your land. Islam. That's just
Correct.
my mind was spinning with all those thoughts, right? I still didn't fully articulate it, but you get the point, right?
No, I totally get the point. So let me stop screen share here, because what you're really speaking on is Henry Campbell Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, and for the definition termed lands. And we're going to end here on lands. And what we'll do is we'll get to all those questions. I guess we're going to have on AstroCivics Sunday 13. What'd you say?
Part 5.
Yeah, we're going to have a part 5, and we're going to go through all the questions. We're going to repeat 1 through 9 and then go through the rest of them, right? So let me back out of the Holy Koran here, right? And let's open up Henry Campbell Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, right? And let's actually look up the term land, right? And then when you look at land, let me know if you see yourself. You know what I mean? So when you look up land, right? JKL. All right, let's look for land right now. LAB.
Imagine if they can manipulate your thinking, which is manipulating the politics that govern your land, then they can create unions, right? That would be different beings linking up with other different beings. That's just like countries, member country or ally countries linking up with each other. You know what I'm saying? Because their thinking is similar. They're in similar states of mind, right?
That's why they tried to call this here United States, or as Keith said in jurisprudence gym, united states, right? United. I'm gonna have to call Spartacus back. Spartacus is calling me on FaceTime right now. I'm gonna have to call him back. I hope he's okay. Right? I don't want to hang up on Mother Delilah. But we are about to wrap up. So with that being said, right? Brother Ara just said, whoa, okay, so we're all foreign to one another, esoterically speaking, right? Because Brother Ara is foreign to me, so he would have to be his own minister and consul pertaining to his own body pertaining to land, right? Because he is a body pertaining to land. And then when you look up land, I see Moors.
Yeah. That green star right in the red background. Land in the most general. Oh, go ahead. My apologies.
Because land is a Moor is a body of land and water, earth and water, so to speak. So when we look at these things holistically, who has actual dominion over us? No one. That's why Brother Ara always Cruden versus Neil.
yeah, indeed.
Cruden versus Neil.
Let's be real. The only thing that you're actually subject to is those laws of nature. And then anything after that you're not automatically subject to, right? You're consenting, knowingly or unknowingly.
Correct. So I'm going to yield the floor there with that, right? Come on back here. I know I have to do the invocation now, but before I go there, are there any other questions, comments, and or suggestions? And I'm serious, especially while I go back here and check the chat on YouTube. I'm just curious. Any questions, comments, and or suggestions? I know you guys want to get this later, right? Those of you that are going to get this shared out to you, because I didn't post while we were live. And I did that on purpose because I like the flow of energy there where it was going. So a lot of you that's going to see this in review, you're going to see the playback, you're going to see the archive. I thank you for going to see that also, right? And Mother Delilah gives her salams to Mother Sahar as they speak back and forth to one another. Mother Sahar is secret agent man, right? So land, yes, among other things, does mean more, right? So with that being said, and that's Slim Herman's comment. So with that being said, guys, what we need to actually see here, what it is that we're doing actually, what we are doing here this year is making sure that everyone actually has that which they need, right? And making sure you have what you need, right? I trust that everyone really takes their time to go and meet Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature. All righty, go and really take your time and meet Prophet Noble Drew Ali in his literature. So it's not just, oh, well, Mother Delilah, she's the elder. Let me just call and talk to her, and then just by osmosis, I'll have everything fall on me. She just admitted that, to you guys early, like she had to get her lessons. Yes. Which she's also saying, you're not exempt from getting yours. So
I find it interesting how some people cannot maintain a conversation with someone like me or you. Like when I came into the movement, the first Moor that I started talking to, they had to hang up on me because I wouldn't hang up. I'm just like soaking in all the knowledge, you know what I mean? But I noticed, like, when I try to share info with some people like that, they'll do anything to get off the phone. Like, sometimes they won't even say shit. They'll just hang up and then act like, like it never happened. Like,
oh, the phone, man. My battery went out, man. My bad.
Like,
I tried to call you back, but I had to wait till it charged. So while I was charging, I walked away, man. And then I forgot because I started taking the trash out, doing the dishes, and then I had to walk the dog on the roof, man. And then the moon came down, and like, what? You're just lying now. Like,
no, it's just so funny, bro. Because I remember these, like when you were saying, right. What reminded me of what I'm thinking of is what you just said about, oh, I'm gonna call Mother Delilah, and she's just gonna tell me all this stuff. And that's funny because I used to stay on the phone with Brother Shakur. Right, wherever he's at, shout out to him or whatever, right? He used to just go in, like, when the stuff he was telling me, like, I couldn't fathom it because I was not in a more state of mind. So you telling me, like, he walked up in the tribunal like Islam, you know what I mean? Like, because he just knows it's all BS, you know what I mean? Like we run this at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? So like I used to try to stay on the phone and soak up as much as possible, bro. But I noticed that there's only one more that I know that I can rap to like that, right? That I'm teaching or who's soaking up, whatever I can give them, that's Brother Royale. He's the only one that would actually stay on the phone. All these other cats, they fall asleep, bro. Find that drive for this information. But yeah, Islam, to everybody again, happy holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali Day, right?
Islam. Well, Mother Delilah, is there anything you wanted to add? Any last words or anything?
Well, I haven't learned all my lessons yet, so I'm still on this plane, so I got still lessons to be learned. That's all I have to say.
Indeed.
Islam. We're adept students for life. That's hashtag that, right? All right, guys. We're going to stand. We're going to face east. All righty, and we're going to extend all 5 appendages on the left, like how we started out. Just the index and middle appendage on the right. Have our feet at a 45-degree angle and facing directional east. All righty. It is actually us, in spirit and esoterically speaking, representative pertaining to going within, because east, according to the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary by Charles Fillmore, you will see east denotes within. So we're facing east, 5 on the left, 2 on the right. You can repeat after me aloud or in your heart. Islam.
Islam.
Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
His holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
This has been great. We thank you all, Mother Delilah. We thank you especially because I told Mother Delilah, we only need you to just say what it was and then you can go. And so I thank her for allowing us to party with her. All righty. And right, and bring the party to you all here on the Seven Hill Star Rights Reserve YouTube channel. And we're thankful for those of you that come faithfully. And we don't really care that it's like 7 or 8 or 9 people. At times it would be only 2, 3, 4, sometimes none. When I was in the Nation of Islam, honestly, there would sometimes be no one that would show up. I'm teaching chairs because the meeting still had to go on. And the only people bearing witness is the brothers that's standing on guard. The brothers that's doing the love check and whoever's coming in from when it's cold outside, standing guard at the front door, and they'll take like a little 5 minutes to sit under the heater at the front door and then they go back out. I bear witness. That's right, brother. And then they go right back out. Other than that, I'm teaching chairs. So I've been well prepared to just share the message and just trust that it'll hit on ears that can hear. All right. So with that, again, Mother Delilah, thank you so much, Mother. We love you, Brother Hasan Bey. Thank you. Right. And to our beloved brothers that, it's because we were pre-gaming before this. Shout out to our beloved brother, Exalted Cyclops, Brother Corey Bey. Shout out to the Souths, Brother Terrell, Tamari Bey, and Brother Braveheart, Brother Sean Alim, who's doing his thing, being the greatest server on the planet. I'm trying to tell you, man, I want to purposely one day and have me and the beloved Mother Mistress Consort go to the restaurants that he be at, man. I'm like, we have a request for which server we want, because Brother Sean is like the LeBron James in front of house. I promise you, I'm not making that up. Like, so many people want him to help set up new restaurants. It is bananas how that is. I'm serious. It's amazing.
That energy, he got that good energy.
Mm-hmm. Straight up. Look, before we close on out, Brother Terrell, we close on out, bro. It's a piece of love. Anything you want to say, bro, before we close out?
So it's like I come in when it's starting and I come in when it's ending. Goodness.
Look at that, man. Alpha and Omega with your stuff.
Well, Islam, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Supreme Honors, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, to the supremest, maxim, to the highest degree that can be, right?
Indeed.
And also to just, keep it short, read chapter 10 from the Circle 7.
Read chapter 10.
Terrell says, read chapter 10, alrighty, and enjoy Prophet Noble Drew Ali's solar return. This would actually make, let me make sure I'm calculating this correctly. This would make the 136th solar return for Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I think this is 136.
136.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. 136.
Or 137.
Yeah, I was thinking 135, 136, 136. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to put that out.
It's 137, ain't it? 137.
Yeah, I think it's 137. Yeah.
Is it? 1886, 22. Yeah, 20,
this is 2023. Yeah, it's the 137th solar return, guys. And I know people are like, well, he's not in the flesh anymore. Man, those latent powers are real. Get familiar. So with that,
known, abundant, and can be called into question at any time as a matter of defense.
Exactly. Straight up, bro. So with that, guys, we love you all from myself, Mother Delilah, and my beloved brothers, Brother Armu Bey, Brother Terrell Tamari Bey, Brother Sean Alim, and Brother Corey Bey. We say to you all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace and love.
Islam.
Islam, y'all. Enjoy yourselves, man. Go and party.